Hey, hey, hey. Happy Tuesday. Come on in. Pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. That's right, I am the founder and editor-in-chief of thegaminggang.com. So if this is your first time joining me, kick back, relax, put your feet up, make yourselves at home. Nothing too serious going on here. We're not performing rocket surgery by any stretch of the imagination. We're just hanging out, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news. So we chat about the latest board games, card games, role-playing games, miniatures games. What's going on your tabletop? We are probably chatting about it. Of course, every once in a while, we'll talk a little PC gaming as well as pop culture. But for the most part, it's pretty much all tabletop gaming news around here. Do want to remind you, if you like this video, by all means, give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already, and if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday through Thursday nights, right here on YouTube. Also let you know when I upload other videos, such as my review of Crystal Palace, which is from Furland Games. Furland? I know it's not Furland Games. And Capstone Games. So just went public with my review on this afternoon. So definitely check that out. Do also want to mention, if you are a longtime viewer, thank you very much for hanging out, kicking back with me once again. Always appreciated. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Because this is a live stream, that also means chat is available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But I do my best to follow chat. So if you want to say howdy, or maybe you got a comment, question, what have you, chime in. I will do my best to respond. First out the gate tonight was Clint Gibson saying hello to everyone. Jason Herrick's with us once again. Flaming Heron and the Madman, both of the chat moderators, are hanging out as well. So welcome. This is Tuesday, February 9th, 2021. This is live stream number 618. So there's actually a pretty interesting news piece that dropped this morning, but I didn't put anything together for it because there really isn't anything to it. So I know those of you out there who are big role-playing game fans, especially fans of, say, Lord of the Rings, you've been wondering what's going on with the new edition of The One Ring. The second edition was at Cubicle 7 Entertainment. They lost the licensing with the Tolkien representatives, and it was picked up by Free League Publishing. Well, Free League Publishing has announced today that the second edition of The One Ring will be hitting Kickstarter on Thursday. That's pretty wild. It's like, hey, by the way, in a couple of days, we're going to be doing this. A couple of days, we're going to run this out there. So actually, all it was really an announcement, and they shared the cover of the rule book. That's it. So I didn't put together a news piece because it's really nothing. What am I going to show you? the cover of the book, read their announcement saying, hey, it's coming to Kickstarter. Do have to say, I've got a pretty good relationship with the fine folks over at Free League Publishing. So as soon as that Kickstarter gets out there, I will have news. I will share it on Thursday. We will be talking about it as well. So I see that a gray day has arrived in chat. So has Kabuki Kid. Double K's in the house. So let's jump on into the news because I've got a good amount of news tonight. Arriving next week from Fiat Lucre is Annapurna. Here's the dope. Climb the most dangerous massif in the world. In Annapurna, you cooperate or compete with your fellow climbers to achieve balance on this treacherous, ever-changing mountain. As you explore your mountainside made of cards, you will encounter rock slides, yetis, and danger at every turn. You start with a deck of 18 mountain cards, laying out 15 of them face down in a pyramidio mountain, and keeping the rest as your backpack. Each card has a yin or yang value of 1 to 4 on it, as well as a special effect. To start the game, each player reveals a card in their bottom row, carries out the effect, then places their meeple on that card. On a turn, you explore an adjacent card on a non-lower level by flipping it over, carrying out its effects, and placing your meeple on it. Trade a card from your backpack with a card in your mountain. Pacing the replaced card in a cache. Should be placing, not pacing. That was my mistake. It says pacing. It's not pacing. It should be placing. Or hide a card, which is the same as trade, but on another player's mountain. If your face-out mountain cards have a balance of yin and yang, you can remove them from play. Once you reach the mountain's peak, you add your cache to your hand. Then you can spend your turns doing nothing, dropping cards from your cache face-up on the mountain to better balance your yin and yang. And throwing cache cards into another player's mountain then flips up one of your remaining face-down cards. In the competitive game, when everyone is at the peak, players score 3, 2, and 1 flags based on who is most balanced, with ties being broken in favor of whoever ascended their mountain first, played multiple rounds until someone collects 9 flags, and wins. In the cooperative game, you end the game after everyone has scaled their mountain, and you all win only if everyone has an even yin-yang balance. Annapurna is for 1 to 4 players, ages 12 and up, plays in 30 minutes. It's going to carry an MSRP of $22.50 when it becomes available next week. So if you're looking for some lighter fare out there with a bit of a mountain climbing vibe to it, as well as sort of a spiritual vibe, I guess we'll say a little. This might be something you want to take a peek at. Will Burton's popped into chat. Good to see you, Will. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. All right, on to the next piece. Arriving this month from Red Raven Games is Sleeping Gods. Here's the skinny. Are the stars unfamiliar here, she asked, and the sky grew suddenly dark, the stars' patterns alien and exotic. This is the wandering sea. The gods have brought you here, and you must wake them if you wish to return home. In Sleeping Gods, you and up to 3 friends become Captain Sophie Odessa and her crew, lost in a strange world in 1929 on your steamship, the Manticore. You must work together to survive, exploring exotic islands, meeting new characters, and seeking out the totems of the gods so that you can return home. Sleeping Gods is a campaign game. Each session can last as long as you want. When you're ready to take a break, you mark your progress on a journey log sheet, making it easy to return to the same place in the game next time you play. You can play solo or with friends throughout your campaign. It's easy to swap players in and out at will. Your goal is to find at least 14 totems hidden throughout the world. Like reading a book, you'll complete this journey 1 or 2 hours at a time, discovering new lands, stories, and challenges along the way. Sleeping Gods is an atlas game. Each page of the atlas represents only a small portion of the world you can explore. When you reach the edge of a page and want to continue in the same direction, you simply turn to a new page and sail on. Sleeping Gods is a storybook game. Each new location holds wild adventure, hidden treasures, and vivid characters. Your choices affect the characters and the plot of the game and may help or hinder your chances of getting home. Welcome to a vast world. Your journey starts now. Or, I guess we should say, later this month. Because Sleeping Gods is for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays in 60 minutes or more. All depends on the length of the session you're playing. It's going to carry an MSRP of $84.99 when it arrives later this month. I got to say, this does look interesting. I know it is like one of the hottest titles on Board Game Geek, which, let's be honest, really doesn't mean anything. There's a reason why things get placed into the hotness. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But, gotta say, this does look kind of cool. That $85 MSRP is really standing out to me, though, because this image right here, this is supposedly what's included in the game. This is kind of showing you the setup of the game. I don't know. I have no idea. So it's kind of interesting. It looks kind of pricey, though. So I am kind of curious. Plus, I got to admit, I don't know what it is with these companies out there who don't understand the importance of actually having a domain name that is just theirs, right? So this is at squaresoft.com, right? redravengames.squaresoft.com. All you're basically doing is you're telling people out there how they can hack your site, because now they know, okay, so it's on SquareSafe. So if, we know SquareSafe's been hacked multiple times, as opposed to just going with redravengames.com. I don't understand. I don't know if they think the Squaresoft part of it, like, gives them a boost of integrity or something. I don't know. But I mean, Red Raven Games has some titles out there. This is not like this is their first game. So kind of curious. So Grade A says that they almost backed this. And, but the pledge manager was closed when they got around to checking it out once again. They went with Kemet instead. Rob Sherman's in chat with us. Rob says, sequels coming soon. Woke gods. Womp, 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 womp. So Grade A says there was a new Zombicide game announced, which I ran across, but I think we already know. I don't provide coverage for Cool Mini or not. So it's called Undead or Alive. Can I guess the theme? Yeah, I guess it's Weird West. Taking a stab. All right, moving right along. Let's talk about another kind of adventure game, because following a successful Kickstarter, Galakta Games and Ares Games are going to be releasing a second edition of Waste Nights this spring. Here's the scoop. Waste Nights Second Edition is a post-apocalyptic game of adventure and survival for 1 to 4 players, inspired by cult classics of the post-apo movies and set in a dystopian Australia destroyed by experiments of a powerful corporation. Each player becomes a rugged hero, traveling through the wasteland, facing unnatural weather and enemies forged in long-forgotten laboratories, as well as experiencing adventures full of dramatic choices and disturbing characters. The game is adventure-based, with each adventure branching out into a number of plots revealed depending on the player's narrative choices. Each plot offers unique game mechanics and stories that can be found in the Book of Tales. Some of them are keyed to a particular adventure, some are generic, but all engage the players to immerse themselves in the setting and make decisions that change the world around them. Each night, player has 2 actions at their disposal, which basically enable them to travel around the continent in their vehicle, explore the area for ever-dwindling resources, fuel, ammo, meds, or camp in order to repair their gear and heal wounds, or radiation. Each adventure additionally offers a unique number of plot actions that let the players affect the story and fulfill their goals. However, the heart of the game is stories. Each playthrough is based on an adventure found in the guide. Some of them are co-op, others competitive, others still may end up with the players grouping around different factions and forced to fight their former friends. The construction of each adventure offers lots of narrative choices, guaranteeing high replayability and encompassing unique setup elements so that the basic game can be prepared quickly and the players can focus on the plot, not the rules. Waste Knight's second edition is for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays in 90 to 180 minutes. I do not have any MSRP info just yet. I'm not going to take it from the Kickstarter either because Ares Games and Galakta Games tend to not... It's hard to tell what the MSRP is going to be sometimes on their Kickstarters. Sometimes they're very, very close to what the Kickstarter price was. Sometimes there's a huge difference between them. But this is going to release in May. I'm sure I'll have more information about this as well. I have heard good things about Waste Knights. The one thing that I did hear that people were very surprised about is the combat is very, I guess, abstract. People were expecting some pretty tactical kind of combat, but it's not. I guess it's a relatively abstract combat system. So, kind of interesting. So, Great A says, yes, Undead or Alive is the Weird West. And a Great A also mentions Ares Games is slow with their Kickstarter deliveries. Well, I don't believe Ares was the one who kickstarted it. I think this was Galakta Games. They did the Kickstarter. Ares just happens to release their games in North America in English. So, cool. Jason says that they late pledged Waste Knights, and it should be here in a couple of weeks. Really? Because according to Ares Games, it's not coming until May. So, I don't know. Unless you were purchasing the first edition. Kabuki Kids says that they bought War of the Ring Anniversary Edition, and that took quite some time to finally come. So, yes, they can be slow. Yeah. I gotta be honest. I don't think I've ever had Ares ship me a game. I think the only time I've ever gotten like review copies from Ares was from them at Origins. I think once at Gen Con, I picked something up to do a review of. So, don't know. I don't know. But it looks kind of interesting. Once again, another kind of adventure game. Let's move on into some role-playing game news, because now available in print and PDF from Atlas Games is another second edition. This is of Magical Kitties Save the Day. Here are the details. You are cute. You are cunning. You are fierce. You are magical kitties. And it's time to save the day. Every magical kitty has a human. Every human has a problem. You're telling me, brother. In Magical Kitties Save the Day, you need to use your magical powers to solve problems and, wait for it, save the day. But kitties live in hometowns that are filled with troubles like witches, aliens, and hyper-intelligent raccoons. Damn you, hyper-intelligent raccoons! Troubles make problems worse. So the kitties need to go on adventures to take care of the troubles before that can happen. Magical Kitties Save the Day is a role-playing game designed for all ages. Obviously enough. No, it's for a mature audience, I'm afraid. They'd be using a different word other than kitties, I guess, if that was the case. Older players, whether they're parents, babysitters, teachers, or older siblings, should they just said siblings as opposed to just repeating older again? That just doesn't come off the tongue correctly. Older players, right? And then it's like older siblings. Just say siblings. Can be the game master for kids as young as 6 years old and everyone else who loves kitties. If you've been looking for a way to introduce your friends and family to role-playing games, Magical Kitties is the perfect game to do it. You've never played a role-playing game either? That's also perfect. Magical Kitties includes a lot of tools, including a solo play module, so you can start playing within moments of opening the box. Or I guess I'll say downloading the PDF. And guidance for both first-time role players and first-time game masters. You can score the deluxe box set for an MSRP of $44.95. I don't know. I don't think you can get it through Atlas Games anymore. I think they are sold out of the box set. I believe you can get the box set maybe through some retailers as well. You can grab the 142-page PDF by itself over at DriveThruRPG for $14.95. Cool. I like sharing stuff that's aimed at the kids from time to time, because then I can turn around and do news pieces that are like totally bizarre right after it, right? So Rob German's like, what is this? Is that a cat with wings on the box? Yes, that is a cat with wings. Just like there's a picture of a cat. It seems to be he or she. I don't want to assume it's a male cat. Seems to be riding along with a dragon. So the Madman was asking about the War of the Ring Anniversary Edition. The one that, isn't that all like painted minis and stuff? Isn't that the like really expensive one? The one that's really hard to get a hold of? I think. There you go. Kabuki Kid says, yeah. Yep. It is all the painted minis. So yes, this is obviously meant for younger children. Or people looking for, something lightweight. Kind of funny. And I am a cat fan, so here you go. So Clint says, my daughter loves kitties. Maybe another one to help get her into RPGs. So Great Ace says, mechanically, the game uses a simplified version of the Powered by the Apocalypse rules. So Apocalypse World, basically. Isn't it weird when you got to say Powered by the Apocalypse, but it's the Apocalypse engine? It's like, what? But the funny thing is, there's a lot of stuff that's marked Powered by the Apocalypse that's like almost indistinguishable. And then there's others that are Powered by the Apocalypse that you're kind of like, are they just throwing them a bone by saying that? It's like, wow, I don't outside of like playbooks, I'm not seeing anything that's Powered by the Apocalypse here, which is fine. I mean, I think it's cool. I've said before, I think Dungeon World's kind of a cool system. I think Apocalypse World is a cool system, although there's some stuff in it that I would not be dealing with at gaming tables. But anyway, so Kabuki Kid says the anniversary edition of War of the Ring was pricey new. It's even more pricey now. Not as bad as the collector's edition, though. All right, my final news piece. There is a third-party Murkberg supplement available in PDF. It's over at DriveThruRPG. And here's what I know about The City Shall Be Made Hollow. 10 new encounters, 10 new items, and a whole bunch of new weirdness to add to your city setting. Made for Murkberg and easily adaptable to the game of your choice. Don't delay. Operators are standing by. Inspired by the setting release, the Dead City of Pyre Crypt, Massio the Escher cooked up a host of bizarreness for you. Use it to modify that locale or a city of your liking. Easily adapted to anything from Grift to Gondor. Add several strange and horrific city denizens, a D66 table of flux events, new items straight from an acid trip gone bad. Don't most acid trips go bad? And some site-specific alterations. A visual riot containing 20 pages of content with original collages to get those creative juices flowing. The City Shall Be Made Hollow is an independent production by Rugos Cohn and Messio the Escher and is not affiliated with Occult Ortmassier Games or Stockholm Cartel. It is published under the Murkberg third-party license. You can get the 28-page PDF over at DriveThruRPG for a satanic-like $6.66. I know there are a lot of people out there who definitely love their Murkberg. I think it's fine. I am not sold on, in fact, you know, the funny thing is, I got it sitting right here. I got it right over here. Isn't that funny? Sit right. I think this is interesting. I reviewed it. I actually do like the system. The presentation is what throws me off. The presentation is sort of like, eh. And I know there are people out there like, oh, dude, man, it's awesome. It's like a heavy metal role-playing game, man. If I wanted a heavy metal role-playing game, I'd go buy a heavy metal role-playing game. Not a fantasy role-playing game. It's got some weird-ass art. So, and presentation. But I still liked it. I still thought it was pretty cool. Just not a, just, you know, I don't know. Call me old school, kids. I like me RPG art to have a little more of a Larry Elmore kind of look to it, as opposed to, you know, Charles Manson Elter Skelter sort of look to it. That's the funny thing. The first time I saw this, the font to this, that was the first thing that popped in my head was Helter Skelter. I don't know why. It just happened to be the case. So anyway, so I was just talking about DriveThruRPG. Keep in mind, the Gaming Gang, thus the Gaming Gang Dispatch, are affiliated with the One Bookshelf site. So if you are going to, say, visit one of those sites like, say, DriveThruRPG, by all means, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on the banner ad, and that way, if you do happen to make a purchase, I'll get a little portion of that sale. And all those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep the Gaming Gang around. So, some discussion of a previous expansion for War of the Ring, Kings of Middle-earth. Yeah, I remember that. I could have swore I did a news piece on that too. And that was quite a long time ago. And it's still not out? I don't know. The folks at Ares are always really nice to me whenever I run across them. Once I'm out of sight, I'm like completely out of mind for them. But whenever like I run into them at like Gen Con or Origins, whenever I stop by and say hi, always right away, hey, let's set up an interview, blah, blah, blah. And I usually get some cool review copies of stuff, depending on who I end up talking to. But for some reason, they always strike me as they're a company that's like on the brink. I don't know why. Because they actually usually have a really good size exhibit area, especially at Origins. They're off. They're away from they're away from the main exhibit hall, but they've got a big area, a lot of tables where people are playing. You know, um, now I'm gonna say the wrong thing, aren't I? Wings of Glory, because I want to say Wings of War, but it's not Wings of War. It's Wings of Glory. Sails of Glory. A lot of people playing that, Galactic Defenders and stuff like that as well. So, but I don't know. Yeah, for some strange reason, it always just seems to me, I always have a feeling that Ares Games is like just hanging on. Like I said, I don't know why. Maybe it's because they don't tend to listen to the people who are buying their product. Because I remember I did an interview. Now I can't remember the gentleman's name, and I've interviewed him like 2 or 3 times, and he was sort of like the English speaking PR person for Ares, and then one of his daughters took over that job, and then his other daughter took over that job, but it's kind of funny. I remember one time I just kind of glossed over the Wings of Glory releases, and it was basically, well, we're still working on some stuff. It's going to be a while. People were pissed. They were commenting on the video about, what the hell's going on? We want blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And of course, they just lost the license to Battlestar Galactica, so we're not going to see that game again. Anything else for that game. And they had some stuff that was on the horizon for the Battlestar Galactica miniatures game. That's all canceled. I don't know. I thought it was an interesting game. I thought it was all right. We played it. We enjoyed it. It wasn't something that was coming off the shelf. The problem I had, and I mentioned this in the review, I wasn't sure how much content they were going to come out with, because the Vipers all look the same, right? The Cylon Raiders look the same. Yeah, granted, they were doing like the old TV show Cylon Raiders as well, but the Vipers still looked almost identical. And what we're going to do, I guess their plan was they were going to release the different pilots with each of their ships and that. I don't think it did well for them at all. I really don't. And that's obviously why they lost the license for it. So Great A's talking about they backed some Kickstarter Zine Quest 3 books. Yeah, I've shared some news about some of the Zine Quest 3 stuff. So Shadow of Tower Silver Axe and Dungeoneering. It's kind of an oddball name. Aces of Cerberus and Glimmer Rim. So Shadow of Tower Silver Axe, I would assume, is one. And Dungeoneering might be the title of another. Or they're all just, it's just really long titles. I don't know. I have no idea. All right, that's it for the news tonight. Pretty quick zip through the news. If you popped in late this afternoon, I shared my review of Crystal Palace from Fearland Games and Capstone Games. So you might want to take a peek at it, especially if you like heavier Euro games. Certainly want to check that out. So Great A says, yes, those are 4 books total. So Shadow of Tower Silver Axe just sounds odd. That's just an oddball name. So once again, yes, Great A's letting us know that we have, what are we at? Let me take a look. Because remember, you don't get to see the actual, I think you get to see the subscribers rounded down. So like to the nearest tens. So we are 66 subscribers away from 4,000. So the reality is, I'll talk about contests in just a sec. So the reality is we're like 500 and what, 60, what did I say, 66? So we're 566 subs away from unlocking one of the contests. So let's talk about the contests that are going on. First of all, this one's super easy. So my contest for this copy of Nidavellir, which is from Galakta Games and Hachette Games, which will not be in stores until April. I am giving away this copy new in shrink. And all you got to do is go check out the review for the game. I will tell you how you can win it. Easy peasy. All right, then over on Twitter, I'm running I'm running 5 contests right now for the month of February, and most of those are not really generating any interest, but still. You know, I didn't realize that this book isn't out in the U.S. yet. I think it comes out this week. I know, the PDF's been out for a long time. But if I reach 7,000 followers on Twitter, which is like 200 and some away, so pretty close, I'm going to give away 3 copies of Warhammer 40K Wrath and Glory in PDF, as well as this brand spanking new hardcover. So it's actually 4 shots. You do have to follow the instructions on the tweets to be in the running. So I have to point out, there aren't a lot of people in the running because they have not followed the instructions properly. Also, back to YouTube. So if I come up with 4,500 subscribers by the end of the month, all of these run through the end of the month, I'm giving away, you know, so now I got the hardcover. I went and bought the hardcover for it through Lulu. Yes, for Basic Fantasy. Anyway, I'm not just giving away that book. Well, I'm not giving away the hardcover. I'm giving away the softcover. But I am giving away 13 books for Basic Fantasy. Basically, maybe I shouldn't have said basically. Essentially, what I'm doing is I am going to give away everything that is in print from Amazon for Basic Fantasy. You got to hit 4,500 subs by the end of the month. I don't know. That's one of them. All right. And then my final 2 contests actually involve the upcoming Candlekeep Mysteries for Dungeons and Dragons from Wizards of the Coast. So, first off, if I hit 7,500 followers on Twitter, I am going to give away the standard art cover of the book. So once again, it is another one of these. You got to follow the instructions on the tweet. And it's not super difficult to figure out. Some folks in chat have figured it out. They have done it themselves. But anyway, if I can hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month, I will give away the alternate art cover to Candlekeep Mysteries as well. So, nice. Very cool. So, there's lots going on. I have recently gotten a bit of movement on people being interested in the Basic Fantasy contest. And it's kind of funny. People are commenting because one of the ways they get in, right? It's basically for the YouTube contest, it's fairly easy. You simply have to be a subscriber and you have to comment on a video. And don't be rude. Rude comments or stupid ass. I had somebody just write text. I was like, yeah, okay. That ain't gonna win you nothing. That ain't gonna win you nothing, Dooley. But that's it. I mean, as long as we hit the number of subscribers, I will do the giveaways. The Twitter contests are a little more complex, but they're not complex at all. You have to be a follower, you have to like the tweet, and you retweet the tweet and tag a friend in that tweet. So, all right. Anyway, let's see what's going on in chat here. So Flaming Heron says, yeah, I did end up doing the right thing for those Twitter contests. Yes, you did. So Great A says, those D&D books look nice on the shelf behind me. Yeah, we've had some people commenting about those books up there past couple of shows. Yeah, I figured what the hey. I like changing things around a little bit behind me from time to time, but it is a super pain. Like when I'm like moving board games and stuff, shifting around. Because there's a lot of stuff on that shelf. Great A says there's also a YouTube group running Wrath and Glory right now. And I guess that started a couple weeks ago. So Will Burton says they've avoided Twitter so far and intend to keep doing so as much as they'd like to see my content. You don't have to be on Twitter to see my content. There's just a couple of contests. So, yeah, Great A says you're not missing anything. No, you really aren't. In fact, we'll talk about this in a sec. So, so the Madman says only reason that he's on Twitter is that found some fellow veterans that he's become friends with. Will Burton's downloaded Basic Fantasy yesterday. Very nice. Very cool. Absolutely free. So Will Burton says, yeah, Twitter's just a cesspool, apparently. Yeah. All right. So let's see what we got here. A lot of stuff going on in chat here. Great A says being civilized is not a requirement for social commentary. All right. Anyway, so yes, Twitter is just I'll see what's trending and I'll be like, what the hell is that? Or who the hell is that? And there's just so much nonsense about these people who stream Minecraft. And I mean, it's like, really? You people are still in the Minecraft? And who joined whose server? And I'm like, seriously? No wonder this world's going down the shitter. It's like you people are concerned about the stupidest nonsense. Anyway, just like I saw somebody tweet that that supposedly right now there's like a lot of arguing and backbiting and bad will in the tabletop gaming hobby on social media. I was like, really? Just like, okay, so I heard through the grapevine, if you watch the show often, you probably caught me talking about the people who do their like 1 minute reviews or the 3 minute reviews and how I personally think that, you know, they're ridiculous and so on and so forth. So, and I had mentioned there was this one woman who seemed relatively new, which I mean, like in the last couple of years. I don't mean they started like yesterday. Who their shtick is the 1 minute video and I was basically, saying, come on, give me a break. Well, I guess she has been like the target of a lot of rage. I guess she was being bullied online. Because I think she's Muslim. And I guess people were giving her a lot of shit about that. And I didn't, once again, it's something that I just saw peripherally, right? Something I see a couple of tweets about, I go, that's weird. Not something I took a deep dive into. But I would certainly hope no one out there thought, for one, I didn't mention anybody by name. but me just saying, hey, I think it's stupid that you're we've talked about it before. I don't see anybody making a buying decision based on a 60-second video or 90-second video or 180-second video. I don't see that at all. Maybe there are people who do. I don't know. But just because I think their content is ridiculous doesn't mean I have something personal against them. So I was like, geez, wow. So I don't know. I don't know what everybody's got their undies in a bind over. It's it's a hobby, right? We're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy the company of each other. That's my favorite thing about tabletop gaming. And I believe I have mentioned this before. It's probably been a long time. But it's not the games. It's not the games that bring me to the table. It's the social interaction at the table. And, I am different than some gamers. There are some gamers, it's all about the game, and they don't care if they were sitting across the table from a corpse. As long as that corpse can perform their actions on their turn. I'm not like that. So Flaming Heron was saying, yes, first world problems, right? Oh my God, I can't believe so-and-so is over on Boogaloo's Minecraft server. Oh goodness, I'm so excited. Really? Why? What? Once again, I'm not somebody who sees the great appeal of Minecraft anyway, because I hate the graphics. Because I grew up with that kind of crap. So I think I'm not a huge fan of when I see. I mean, I'll play some games that have like the 8-bit or 16-bit graphics, but I have no great nostalgia for it. So nobody's doing me any favors when their video games have 16-bit graphics, because it's like I lived through that the first time. The people who weren't around for that are all like, "Oh wow, yeah, that's really cool." It's like, no, it's not. It's just 16-bit graphics. All right. Anyway, so Flaming Heron says, yeah, people who buy games based on those short reviews were probably buying them in the first place. Will Burton says they call it anti-social media. Yeah, I know, isn't it? Kind of is. I don't know. But, on one hand, I don't believe in like sitting here and sugarcoating things. I mean, I call it as I see it, but I don't know. I would hope people don't look at me like, man, this guy's always super negative. It's like, no, I just believe in being upfront. Anyway, all right. That is it for tonight's show. Kind of a quick show tonight. But I do want to mention that if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. Because it'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday through Thursday nights right here on YouTube, also let you know of other videos I upload, such as today's review of Crystal Palace. Will Burton says, I am very balanced. Yes, but I am certainly not fair and balanced. Flaming Heron says, I don't mind retro, but if the game isn't interesting in the first place, I won't buy it. Yeah, I would hope that retro just wouldn't be the big selling point. Anyway, of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Of course, I will be back tomorrow. Those of you who are watching live, thank you very much. Always appreciate you taking some time, hanging out in chat, keeping me company, so I'm not just babbling on into the ether. But I do know there are people out there who don't have an opportunity to watch live. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy day or night or whenever to check out the show as well. Thank you very much. All right. And of course, everybody out there, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, or whatever day it happens to be when you're watching this video. And as I sign off on all of my videos during this never-ending pandemic, I certainly hope all of you out there are being smart and staying safe. Oh, hey, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, if you haven't subscribed to the Gaming Gang channel yet, click right here. If you'd like to see the latest episode of the Gaming Gang Dispatch, click right up there. And if you want to trust YouTube's algorithm to give you something to watch, click right there. Once again, thanks so much for watching, and everybody please wear a mask.